It is Dallas Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, guys. How you doing?
Man, as you can guess, we're doing fantastic. A couple of weeks ago, or I guess a few weeks ago, when you made the Kelvin Joseph trade, you knew it would be for the player that was going to score the first touchdown of the season, right?
No, we had that down pat. We knew that was coming for sure. But no, in all seriousness, it was certainly great to see Noah. I won't even try to, other than Noah I won't try the last name, but I'm sure if he keeps doing things like that, we'll figure it out before it's over.
That should be a new mantra of all sports teams. Do more important things. We'll get your name down, Pat. Yeah. I think that's a good point. And him and Deron Bland scoring the first two touchdowns. Like, as much as we love this offense, holy cow, special teams and defense was showing out all night last night.
Well, of course, that starts at the top with Mike, and, it's what he and Dan and, stress. And, of course, Shotty on the other side is protect the ball, which is what we did last night. And, it's just they're picking up right where they left off the last 2 years in terms of getting the turnovers. You can see it in the culture. You can see it in the attitude of the defense. Bland, picked up right where he left off as well. He had a great year picking the ball off last year, and of course gets a pick six last night. And Diggs, there we're up 30 plus points, and he's running a guy down and hacking the ball out, and doing the way we practice every day. So hats off to Coach Quinn, Coach McCarthy, Coach Shotty, the whole crew, Bones. And what they're stressing every day, and certainly taking it to the field.
Well, to your point, and then this is on two of the other cornerbacks there, and you just mentioned Diggs. One, did Diggs come in this season and intentionally say, I want to be more physical? And then with Stephon Gilmore, is that the smartest player you've ever seen on the field?
Well, he's just, we knew, when we made the trade for him, what he brought to the table. He's a former NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Known for getting the ball as well, and certainly knows the game. He's not only, as I mentioned at the start of the season, both him and Cooks not only bring, their game to the field, but what they bring with leadership off the field and what they bring, every day in practice may be as big as what they're bringing on the field. But no, I give Dan a lot of credit there too. He critiques these guys, what they can be better at from the year before. I know certainly it's great to see Diggs out there responding, after getting a big old contract and then making the plays he did. Certainly makes you feel good about that. But, I just think, that's the way we've seen us practice. We were looking forward to seeing it. As we know, we didn't see a lot of these guys in the preseason, the veteran guys, and it was great to see them go out there and perform at a high level.
Is there ever that worry, even with the veterans who you've seen do it year after year after year, how they'll come out in that first game, seeing as how they don't usually see time in the preseason?
Well, it is. I mean, it's a little bit of the unknown, but at the same time, I also understand, everybody has different ways of doing it. Mike's a big believer in protecting the vets and getting the work done in practice. As you can see, both sides had their challenges practicing against each other. Every day in practice. I know I even saw where Dak was quoted as one of the things he was looking forward to the most was going against the defense without Micah on it. And certainly Michael's disrupted our offense throughout. And, you guys who were out at training camp saw it, just how disruptive he can be for a practice. But I think it made the offense better. And, that was tough conditions last night, for both offenses. The ball was wet. I think saw some drops, saw some things that we can definitely clean up, but, that was certainly tough conditions out there.
Stephen, my son asked me this question, and I'll just pass it on to you. He's 15 years old. He's really excited about the Cowboys last night, and he said, Dad, are we really this good? So I'd like to ask Stephen Jones, are the Cowboys really this good?
Well, you've got to a lot of things went our way last night, and it's not that I don't want to take away from any of our guys because they made a lot of those good things happen for us. But, that's just one game. Certainly our guys came out and were prepared. Hats off to the coaching staff. Hats off to the players. I think when we walked in to see Mike before the game, he was saying, this one's overcooked. We've gotten prepared. And, it's time to play. So, we've got a lot of work to do this year. As you know, you can look in the game and see a lot of places where we can be better. I mean, the first drive, they were having some success running the ball against us. We certainly tightened that up and played well the rest of the game. As I mentioned, had some drops there that can certainly be better with. So, we've got to continue to improve, and it was a great start, but we know we got a lot of work to do.
Now, one of the other things that everybody was highly anticipating, looking forward to, was this new Texas Coast offense and trying to see what it was all about. Do you think you kind of got to see the full view of that, or because the lead was so big, you kind of had to tuck some of it away and say, we'll save it for another day?
Well, there's some more wrinkles for sure, and things that I know, Coach McCarthy and Coach Shoddy are going to build off of in terms of setting other things up in the future. So I think that was a taste of it, but I do think there'll be a lot more wrinkles as we move forward. The biggest thing of all, that we're going to stress, that Coach McCarthy is going to stress, along with Coach Quinn and Coach Shoddy and Bones, is, one, get the turnovers, and two, protect the ball. And last night we did a good job of both. And, like I said, tough conditions. It would have been easy to have a turnover or two in that rain. And certainly we got our share of them, but our guys did a good job of protecting the ball as well.
Since you are on the rules committee and salary cap can be carried over, could you introduce a rule where we can carry over some of this 40-point margin of victory to future weeks?
It's funny you say that. We actually said that. We're wanting to save some of those plays, especially as we went into the fourth quarter. Let's save some of this for the future. But no, it was a great night. Anytime you can get a big divisional win on the road like that against the Giants, it's a great start to the season. But I know our players know this. I know our coaches know this. I know we as an organization know this. We got a lot of work to do.
Now, a more serious rules committee question for you. I was curious, we didn't get a chance to talk about this in the offseason. More restriction of hitting with the helmet. Can you walk us kind of through that talk as it went along in the offseason and how that rule might have kind of been expanded a little bit?
Well, I just think the bigger thing is we all know if you can keep the head out of the game, it's better. There's some inherent things that happen when you have inline play with the defensive and offensive linemen that, are just part of the game. But it doesn't mean that you can't continue to coach, and coach plays out of games that, that you can look at. And I know our coaches, lead the way and wanting to keep our players safe. So, we're always going to look at that. But at the same time, we know we play a game that's physical. And you're going to have, it's impossible to avoid not having, the helmet involved. As I said, inline play, things of that nature. It's going to be part of it. But our goal is always to make the game safer, but also have a great game.
Stephen, I was kind of curious. When did you think that Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell would be contributing this way, like with this many big plays for this team? Was it fully realized last night, or was there some other time when you were like, I think these guys can be a part?
Well, Bell was making a lot of, things interesting for us last year. He just didn't get the opportunities with Dono and Curse and Hooker and, just never got his chances. Wanye, I must say, but obviously he's come on. We had thoughts about moving him to linebacker in the off season, but didn't do it. Ended up needing to because of injury to Overshone, and certainly he played well. But and then on the Wanye side of things, he just took another big step here. Once we put on the pads in training camp, from day one in the preseason games, that's what those games we believe are for, to get these young guys opportunities to show. And every time Wanye stepped out on the field, he was making plays. And certainly he carried that right on into the regular season. When we moved Bell down, it gave Wanye the opportunity at safety, and we're a better team for it.
I'm curious your take on the play of Chuma Edoga last night and your thoughts about Tyler Smith's availability going forward.
Yeah, I think Chuma's a veteran guy who's played the game, and that's what we liked about him. His only knock when we did sign him was injuries. Of course, he's had some of that here with us in camp, but he was able to really step up for us last night. And we're getting ready to walk in here and, get some grades on these guys and, see exactly how they played. But my feel for it was overall the offensive line did a great job. And certainly I know Tyler was wanting to be in there, but he'll continue to work to get ready. As we all know with soft tissue, same thing going on with Dono and his calf is you don't want to rush those back because it's if they re-injure those, then you're starting over again. So we think we got the best in the business and Britt Brown and Jim Maurer in terms of rehabbing these guys, and they're aggressive, but at the same time, they want to get them back to where they stay out on the field. So we'll definitely be monitoring those two situations. But overall, we thought Chuma did a good job, and it'll be interesting. Some of the guys got in to play the fourth quarter, and be interesting to see how they played as well.
And whether it's Chuma or Bass or whoever else, if the offensive line can play well, does that give the team and give Tyler maybe a little bit more time to properly heal that injury and not try to rush back?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why you have these guys and you feel comfortable that you can go out and play a game and protect Dak and, have the offense function at a high level. Then certainly that gives you the time, just like Bland playing the way he is at nickel is certainly letting us, work with Jordan Lewis in terms of his injury. So when you have that type of depth, it's certainly helpful. Same thing at the safety situation with Bell and Wanye, giving Dono that chance, do what he needs to do to be 100%. All those things are big pluses when you have competitive depth on your football team.
Stephen, at the bar I was at last night watching the game, when Brandon Aubrey missed the first extra point, there were a lot of like, oh my gosh, oh no, like situations. But then I told everybody, I was like, he's not going to miss another one for the rest of the year. So far, I'm looking pretty good. But I
love it.
Were you feeling like, oh no, or what were you feeling when you saw that first missed extra point?
Well, if you're real honest, everybody probably said, oh no. But it's like you said, he's a rookie. It's his first kick. And, when he stepped right back up and made the field goal, the next kick, then I think everybody said, hey, he's going to be just fine. He's got great mechanics. We really think a lot of this guy, and I do think he's wired the right way in terms of his nervous system, and I think he's going to be a really good kicker for us this year.
Now, the last thing I was curious about has nothing to do with the game last night. You've been around football your entire life. Do you ever remember an NFL game called the Playoff Bowl?
I'm not sure. I don't think I remember that one.
From 1960 to 1970, that was the third place game that was played for the teams that did not make it to the Super Bowl. Vince Lombardi once called it a loser bowl for losers.
Well, we hopefully won't be in a position to be in that type of bowl game this year. Hopefully we'll take care of our business and get in the real tournament and see if we can be better than we were last year.
Well, while they're giving out those grades, spread the word about the playoff bowl. We really feel like everybody needs to know about that. Thank you very much, good sir. Congratulations on a dominating opening game.
Well, great being on with you guys and look forward to a great year with you.